Imróí
tá sort slatóis nó de bhí slatóis nó a bhí seo gimmer ag loch leanta fotláige. As ba vinnig it éis má imríon pól go má beag an buige potláig.
Chased by Derek Barrett. They've had their altercation. And Flynn has scored a wonderful point. Owen McGrath. Nippy player. Has support outside. Prendergast is to his left. That's a great intervention by Dermot O'Sullivan.
We got kind of a break in the second half, really, that maybe we hadn't got in other years against Cork, where a long delivery from Tony ended up in the net.
Tony Brown back again. 60 metres out. Let it fly in there. And it's in the back of the net. A Waterford goal. Tony Brown is taking the credit.
Cool ball of Jan, you know, an clash in there back Coimhlintí agus buníos móna cool and count sin mar og sé an Creas cocky agus tócha.
Dermot O'Sullivan. Well, but it goes into Dean. Joe Dean turning and he puts it over the bar. And the teams are level for the 7th time in this game. Neither side should lose this at this stage. But there's a chance for Waterford to win it. Ken McGrath has put it over the bar. The man we didn't think would play.
And Ken missed that game actually with a shoulder injury and was introduced to it, I'd say no more than 6 or 7 minutes to go. And a few of us were surprised to see Ken coming on because his shoulder was actually in bits. But it just goes to show you never know. Like, I mean, he received the ball off Brian Green, I think about 20 yards out and straight between the posts, and that put us a pint up and the ball was poked out and the whistle was blown. So fairy tale ending to the game, especially for Ken.
Is the man we thought would not be able to play earlier in the week the one who has won it? He has. Ken McGrath has won it for Waterford.
Gun chéadúir le trí bliana déim, chrúpart lárigear Corcus a gréibh, agus tháinig gorta tríochaí blian fan déanana dhéisisin, nuair a ghrútar craobh na mún a naid hebrodáran.
Oh, to go! And he went for a jerk. And they said the famine was over. The famine is now over.
In nere báire de bhuaig potláige craobh na mún. Agus a le héad a onra bhí ar a bar can loch leanta dul isteach ar a bar gláire. Mar is cinnte nach bhacha nócha fáin géadaí bhfuil le héad a lár i bhí sin.
This is the real famine! And the real famine is over!
An blian dar gíon a rábhillig sa trí, chasad a raid a chéile ríis de glufi canis na mún. Bhí portláige a gur a ghail céim níos fuide, ach bhí Corca a gur a stop a chur na hub.
Inside, difficult one, so down to Halpine has it, awkward angle, it's a goal!
It was a great boost to us early in the game to get a goal like that, and it would have been Satanta's first year really playing with Cork as well, so I think it kind of settled him down and settled us all down.
Nice balance and control, getting away from O'Sullivan, he's causing problems for Dermot O'Sullivan. This is in the early stages, going to get left hand side.
I've been ill for 3 weeks coming up to it, you know, it was hit or miss whether I shouldn't have played in hindsight. You know, we made the wrong call.
Forward here towards Ken McGrath, high up into the air, hoping the wind will carry it on for him. That was Mulcahy touching it down, coming in here and striking it brilliantly into the back of the net.
But I suppose of all the games, that was my worst outing, shall we say, for the 10 or 12 minutes I was on the field.
In fact, it's Paul Flynn who's going to take it. It goes short. To Milan! Goal! What, Joe?
Bhí seans únta ar fad ag portláige chun an cléthe sin a bhócan agus chun fearing a rá ba ceart go méach an brócha.
Gets well away from Seamus Prendergast. Oh, Halpine again, laid outside towards Ben O'Connor, awkward, right on the end line. It's a trinner.
Ní raibh an taithí tócha fós go leor ag for an portláige.
sin si íon chuid nó mé dénach mar hada lánas na cléí eile agus is cuinim líróid fada teach agus an fearras mór an iran Jodín an fearras is luair an iran is dócha agus é chursú sa láh rúg sé greimmar an líróid agus chur sé san angaché agus bíine an scór sorta a bhíidir na fórnig an teire.
Cork have scored a victory, and Cork are champions of Munster for the 49th time. It's Cork champions in Munster once again.
Chod Cork go fada leis an glufi canis ach bhfuil na championí cil chuinead.
It could be the crucial goal of the game. DJ winning his 5th All-Ireland medal today. Kilkenny the champions for the 28th time.
Ráhílig sa ceid. Bhí Portláirige I glufi canis na mún gon tríú blian as a chéile agus bhí leathú leach go bar chorm bhicábhí. Ach bíad Corca rána coitiíon tuchta éigen.
Mar a bheith an chluthe canis amán in na mún a báríomh. Bhí sé measc na trí nó cearacín a churfaí san áil.
Bhí mar I lorg lead mór mar spruachtas na pochan amach. So, nó níor bhíon taithí ar Garvan bheith gimmar trín siúr an den chunta ach thug mar seansar.
On towards Garvan McCarthy, didn't quite make it that time. Makes it the second time. Oh, he scored! What a debut!
Agus, nó rainn tú cool bog. Éon úr I gine, fuirin go máile Portláirge is brontan is é.
Well, Cork are simply flying, but only 9 minutes gone.
Cork, I think we're 1-2 up to no score, and we were kind of looking around like, what's going on? And in fairness to Dan Shanahan in the first 25 minutes of that game, he nearly single-handedly pulled us through.
2 against 1 inside. Shanahan's the one inside. He has it. He scores.
John Moran's after striking Brian Murphy in the face there. Would look like the hand of a hurl off the ball.
Well, let's see if we can go, because the umpires will be critical here as Sean McMahon races in.
I think it had been building, over the previous couple of years. Brian wouldn't be the quietest of characters, and John wouldn't be the quietest of characters either.
2.5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah.
It's red. John Moran has been sent off.
Lead mór de Bamalan an Tomsin don Fern Galéir nar a héan Fern sios go dtí cardiac uanta I maríonn siad níos fearr.
Only 15 minutes into the second half, however. Dan Shanahan bustling, winning the free. It could easily now become a battle of the free takers.
We were 2 points down at the time. The way I looked at it, it was a chance to nothing, that if I didn't hit it and it didn't dip, it would go over the bar. And if it did dip, it might have a chance of going in.
Well, the last time a referee told a player to take it back from a free, remember in the Limerick match, it dropped into the goal. Will Limerick ever forget? Flynn goes for a goal!
So most people talk about the goal, did he mean it or did he not, but I suppose you get lucky sometimes.
Victory is within the grasp of both teams. It's going to be an awful game to lose, and a fantastic, fantastic victory for the winner.
Stoker an rud hasan na maidna an támar fad an chríoch go bhí leis. Bhí Portláirige stáile mé an chúlín óháin chun posa. An tám nach mór caite. Agus slitar á de dul a dro an lelín a cosna.
We're in injury time. 30 seconds to go. Waterford leading by a point. Waterford attacking. Pressure on Wayne Sherlock. Cork have got to try and score here. First of all, they need to get the ball down to Roland Curran. The referee has a look at the watch. Says play on. Cameron Brown makes a fantastic catch. That would be a match winner at home for the 14 men of Waterford.
It was just Waterford's day. By John being sent off, the Coimhlintí goal, the way they brought themselves back into the game. And probably, I even knew before I even went for the ball that I knew the result, Cameron Grab was going to win it. It was a huge moment for Waterford.
The 14 men have a free. Paul Flynn, whose goal was so important, drops it in, saved by Sean McMahon, and that is it! Waterford won the Munster hurling final for 2004 by just a point in as fine a game as you're ever likely to witness.
But
as powerful as someone's urge to win a match for somebody that's sent off. You know, sometimes it's difficult to play against that kind of ability too.
They won the Munster Cup. Can they go even better than that? Can they win the All-Ireland? They'll go close.
Ach le techt an óvid honnig cas ar y scéal. Wel na coit Portlárig is a glyfi leach anis. Agus bwyd na Corca chai a fi celiwra eis an glyfi canis.
Agus gandíú hwn agus fe is iad Corca Champini na Héireann.
I rávílig sa cúig chasad ar y chéile a glyfi leach anis na mún. Portlárig Champini na mún. Corca Champini na Héireann.
We knew like if we could get on top of Waterford earlier on, you know, we'd have the Indians sign over and away, like, but
Gets this one in. Well gathered by Fergal Hartley. Loses out. Comes to Joe Dean. Goal for Cork.
She's sunny gearig dealt as a funtamach, you know. Sucht gavil sa cahar nor a voom or le cahar diag Rory agus ni Harlíon ruddy machine, you know, the Muito Corky.
Back to Gardner once more. Puts it on his left.
2005, you know, you had the half-back line of John Ronan and Sean Hogan. I think towards the latter end of 04 and the start of 05, they began to insert a big influence in games. I don't think it was to the heights of 2003 or 2004, but at the same time it was still a very close game. It was a good opener for us and it kind of kick-started our season.
Well, it's all over. This Munster Championship semi-final.
Corca a grúmach craibh na mún a rávílig sa cúig. Ach ní ar deire cor le Portlárig a fós. A goll isteach réidir cúl doras a go ar ai chéile ríist sa glyfi Carol Canis.
The women that were sent to Australia are the founding mothers.
The British government is quite interested in establishing a new kind of society, an experimental society.
I sentence you to 7 years transportation.
Vi er dal gedi der dain, mar a vi genau.
Vi ga ag na colínig le van á chéile, mar bharige, mar forte ganéis, agus mar harvantí tí.
For that one, she reads and writes, I want her.
At Tesco, we've over 130 checks on our meat to ensure the highest quality for our customers.
Every piece of fresh meat sold at Tesco comes from a farm like ours.
At Tesco, offering choice to customers is very important. All our steak is aged for 21 days, so it's our most tender steak ever. So, if you don't love every bite, we'll give you your money back. Tesco, every little helps.
Help Pieta House keep shining a light on suicide and self-harm by walking or running 5k from darkness into light on May 9th. Proudly supported by Electric Ireland.
Get 25% off Sky TV for a whole year with the Variety Bundle. Keep everyone entertained with a fantastic choice of channels, including documentaries and kids shows, plus exclusive Sky Atlantic for must-see UK and US dramas. And with Sky Go, you can watch what you want wherever you are. So, get 25% off the Variety Bundle with Sky Atlantic and Sky Go. All for just $28.50 a month for a whole year. Call 0818 71 6000. Sky. Believe in better.
Léiríonn haideúin gur chúis hantasach eile é aspa colata le leanaí a bheith rórán. Rud a déach a bheith faoi deara ailse is galar crí agus iad ní sinne. Denna mís am colata as am lí. Tás ag le seall suimhnis rih ré agus den iirecht cos go chur ar Skyline sa tomra colata. Martal I measc leanaí. Feimi sin ceann is fearr le safefood.eu.
Let's go. Take 3.
Dr. Giltori ó Colosticus Sniffa a Laucan.
Anam an grúpa ná Fuishef.
Is Virginia grúpa Mergapta, Kugali.
Glindir an talam teir ar ngúpa. Is focal alling ag glindir, darling.
Táchaí an cheol tradiisianta among comórtais. Siansa TG Cash.
Waterford have won the toss and they opted to play with the wind behind them for the opening 35 minutes. As you say,
Michael Rávílig sa cúg, Íber Cork go Portláige as craibh Oman na mún. Ach trí de cúl doras, til Omani hin na sa glyffe Carol Canish.
It was like the previous game we played and we tried to nullify everyone their danger men, Sean Hogan and Kelly. You know, I had their battle. I think I marked Flinner for a while, and then, you know, there's always shopping and changing, but as a unit we generally wanted to shut out and just nullify every one of them for as much as we could.
Cégur immer Portláige go máin lá sin a ríis stoch a rud bheag in sna clí sin go léir a dachraigh an scéal agus sin mar a Harlan lá sin.
wide so far. Well, Cork marginally the more guilty.
Jory sent a very long ball down the field, and I think he was in his own half at the time.
Jerry O'Connor in towards Jodine, it hops dangerously down to Brian Corcoran. Dangerous moment for Waterford.
I know because he obviously knew in the back of his mind if he was a defender what would be happening, so I just dropped the ball to the ground. It was a great goal, fantastic goal. You know, it was one of the highlights of the series probably.
Chunne Cork go gríime forum Vicarty nar bhfuil idir gaile sa glufi Canish.
Agus in eistach siad sa Cork ar chul, Bucky Susan Shaw, agus tá cúl, all in fáte ag Corca, agus fáte ag Ben O'Connor. Tá Conan Vicarty, grúte ag Corca, agus écht iontach pat an Conan Shaw rúchtál fáblí na sa chéile.
Rávílig sa sé, chlufi Canish na héireann an uairse, bhí Portláige dtíana go maith go leanú nos na Coimhlintí Móra, ach bhí rá chlufi as sa chéile grúte Corca.
Tony Brown, great catch.
It was drizzly, it was horrible, like in playing Crow Park, and, you know, the condition of the pitch used to be that time, like it was just like a skating rink.
Again, they're slip sliding over there, and it's certainly a major.
It was one of those games where it just to score for score, you know, Ben O'Connor was causing grief for us, and he played well that day.
Former
minor is coming on for Neil Ronan, who scored 3 points. This is up now towards the new man in.
Hosnig Catholic Ray, John Gardner, Leroy, also Cormac, Rub, Cahill Nachton now.
Cahill Nachton, can he make a difference? What about that for a start? What about that for a point?
Hosnig Shishin, Cassan Cleher.
I think even if he had just done that and got the point, and we had won the game or lost the game, people would say Kyle is one for the future, but he was done better.
Dean comes in again, giving it away from Murphy, flipping it inside to Knockton. He's got another chance. He's got a goal. What a substitution! Tony Brown closed down. Again they close it down. There's still time. It's got to be a free. It's a free to Waterford.
Ken's free would have given Waterford a draw. It was a long distance free. He had to go for it.
We are overtime. The side are a point behind. Will they get a draw? Will it land over the bar? It's hit the post and it's come out. Cork are hanging on.
Donald Ogan, the Cork goal, brought it down. Many would have said it had just crossed over the crossbar before when he brought it down, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Cork's luck, Waterford's misfortune.
That's the final whistle. It's all over. What an eventful game.
All of a sudden, the match was over. And I do remember thinking, oh, here we go again. Whistle is gone. I remember going into the dressing room that day and it was like, where do we go from here? Or what do we do? Or should we keep doing it?
Bhí Cork a glufi Canish eile, it's a toad an tríú críomh as sa chéile a tháinig Kilchunne Salach ar a blaen. Simple gate, Rávílig sa seacht. Gurú trúr All-Stars as Corca ed Finry, Leighanta Solar Rugad a Rai ed Hampini na Sraha, Portláige glufi Canish na mún.
So we Cork get the start to the clash in Great Portláige, gone an cool bar, long cool, agus didn't just that cool, so I don't fab.
Can I put more pressure on Waterford into winning the game, because if we couldn't beat the Cork team without 3 of their more senior players, like where were we going or what were we at?
So Cléthe, to be a name should go to their father, because the Venus scoring a tackle back in on it.
That's the first attempt. It's a dangerous one. Who has it? top of the screen is brought to ground. This time it is a free for Waterford on the 20-metre line. And this time Cork players
We got a
protest.
21-yard. We got a dubious enough free, I suppose, that was moved into the middle of the goal, and Owen Kelly had the ball, and he kind of said to me, here.
Will he go for goal? The Cork lads are anticipating, and he just might. Here it is. Goes for it, and it is a goal!
They came out in the second half, in fairness, and they played well, and they got right back into it.
Dropping this one in. The break comes first, Pat Cronin. Can he get it in? He can! Another goal!
And I suppose with quarter of an hour to go, there was very little in it. And a long ball came up the field, and Owen Kelly ran onto it.
Breaking ball, however, favours Owen Kelly. He's now facing the man from Kinturk. Will he score? He does! Goal number 5.
We were down a point or two, literally in the last puck of the game, and Ben gave a ball to Shane Murphy.
Have to get a goal. The tension is palpable. Goes for the shot, comes in and takes it, deflection off the crossbar. Comes back outside.
It was only afterwards I remember thinking that the crossbars and turtles were actually kind of a rectangular shape as opposed to a circular shape. You know, if it was a circular crossbar, it might have gone anywhere, but you know, they're only small things. But I think at the end of the day, Waterford probably just deserved their victory, right, in fairness.
Grŵp Portláirige Leimreach a glufi Canis na Mún. Capú go ra siad réich an Corn Vicáriach Rochalahob. Ach ríide Coldoras, Honey Corca East.
Here we were again, All-Ireland quarter-final, Munster champions, Cork facing us again. So, like, I mean, it was just nearly one of disbelief at this stage. Like, can we not just play Cork once a year and leave it at that?
He turns, he shoots, and that's another point for Waterford.
Ní lisa go mula an gael ger epic. Cletha únta go bhí harna bart ar fád a bhí an. Bhí na scór na cochar am astálum 8 nuaire le ling na himmartha. As gascí a dhéanamh ag daoine ar fud na páirce go léir.
Gives it long, John Milan is up there. So too is Dan Shanahan. Chance of a goal, and he sneaks it inside. Donald Cusic's post.
We were playing well, everyone around the field was kind of contributing, and we were kind of nullifying Cork, and we were, I would say we were in control in the first half.
Nice one too, getting inside the cover, he's inside the line. That is a penalty.
The penalty taken Judy's back to Fontanillian. I remember he had a rocket of a shot. I think it put us 3 or 4 points up at the time.
Neil Ronan hitting it into the back of the Waterford net.
Before, if you got on top of Waterford teams, you know, you'd know you had the game won, but there'd been something changed in their game. They were, you know, they'd added something new to their armour.
We got a goal at the start of the second half. Then again, you know, and some people said you scored the goal too early, but sure, you can't really pick and choose your moments when you're going to score a goal against Cork.
Here's Glenn. There's a chance of a goal. He drives it in. Coming through the centre is Tom Kenny. He has to beat Clinton Hennessy. Hennessy stands his ground, but it's a goal for Cork.
We were gone from cruise control to 2 or 3 points down, like with 6 or 7 minutes to go.
And I can recall the final seconds when Waterford had an opportunity to take an equalising point, but they went for a goal.
Here it comes in long. Here is Owen McGrath inside. There's a chance here for Waterford. He has to go inside. He's inside the cover. He's going to goal. Brought down. Comes out that shot and again blocked again on the goal line.
And Donald Cusick went down on the ball. There was then what we call a schmozzle inside in the square.
Sean Oak, as you can see, is giving him a tap on the back. And in fact, he is giving a free in. This to equalise.
That's the one to find a lot of things. I think, you know, fair play to Owen McGrath, first of all. You know, it was a very brave thing to do, to go for a goal. And all of a sudden, like, there was just bodies everywhere. You know, how the referee could have seen from where he was, because we were 60 yards out the field, how actually someone was lying on the ball for a start was a bit farcical.
Old timers would say that if he'd done that back in bygone days, he'd be back in the back of the net, ball, himself, Hurley, the lot. But you can't do that anymore.
So, time up, 21-yard free in. I looked at Owen Kelly and he went, no, he's gone over the bar, so that's great.
Here it is, over the bar, side level. Brian Gavin, the referee from Clara, blows the full-time whistle. The full-time score here in Croke Park. Waterford 3 goals and 16 points. Cork 316.
Tá epic a chuile, agus é seach lá, chun a fáil amana chun trod ar East.
Balances the sliotar on the Hurley, uses the short grip under pressure, hits it. Almost hit by his there, bare shoulder. Play continues on. Milan makes an angle, and Milan puts it over the bar.
Go mútha Corcaigh go nach him. Leis an tradiisiún a bhí có. a méid craibh go bhí bútecha. An taithí bhí go ar chluithí a bhuachta de ball.
Shane Walsh is there. So too is Stephen Malumphey. Flicking it inside for Dan Shannon. Takes a shot. What a goal!
I think Dan's goal was the deciding factor once he struck that goal. I think, you know, alright, it was early in the game, but it was a key moment for them.
It's a 3-point game, but time surely is over for Waterford. They have finally beaten the hoodoo of beating Cork in Croke Park.
The real satisfying thing, I suppose, about beating Cork that day was they were gone. They were gone home, and I suppose having beaten them in Munster a couple of times, we never knocked them out of the championship.
I think the first thing I kind of felt when I went back into the dressing room was thinking back to the drawn game that, you know, we should have seen out the drawn game. A replay kind of takes a life of its own, and Waterford kind of grabbed hold of that.
Bhí sé rás ar fad, ní léon doubt faoi sin, you know, de bhí ás an down in Gachéinde, bhí mar I lúri agus I bécha istí sa seomra festas. A job mór dénta go na sin.
Bhí seansig Portláirige cluifi canis na héad na bhainte amach gon chéadúid ó 1963. A chéis trí chluifi nach ar caiiciise hepar I gonne limni.
Back once again to the centre of the park. Tobin this time letting fly. Begley has it. Here's a chance. He can bury Waterford. Brian Begley, and it's all over. Limerick have beaten the Munster champions Waterford.
Tréifse sé bliana. Ní gén go chluifi craibh agus ní a atrop ach chéad a chólín. Corcach an cín éigen. Is fáidir a dhéon fortráth den na cluifi epicecha seo idir Corca agus Portláirige.
Cinnte ní bheidh a lehéad an rís de léachna agus de cléí agus mar a bhí idir ar an úntaach Portláirige agus ar an úntaach Corcaí.